"If I sing well, will you give me a plate of food?" said a black street girl at a talent show. So. The auditorium lights burned bright that night, chandeliers gleaming over silk gowns and tuxedos. It was the annual National Star Talent Gala, where dreams were made, broken, and bought. The judges sat like royalty, a music mogul, a fashion CEO, and a record producer with a gold chain thicker than his morals. The host, a man with too much charm and too little empathy, raised the mic. "Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer isn't even on the list." The crowd murmured. A small shadow stepped forward. A thin black girl, barefoot, wearing a tattered red dress that hung like memory. Her hair was messy, her eyes dull but burning with something deeper than fear, hunger. She clutched a small, broken microphone and whispered, "Sir, if I sing well, will you give me a plate of food?" The audience laughed. Some out of shock, most out of cruelty. The host smirked. "Sweetheart, this isn't a soup kitchen. This is the gala." But before he could wave her away, one of the judges, Eleanor Reeves, a billionaire philanthropist known for her icy demeanor, raised her hand. "Let her sing," she said softly. "Let's see what hunger sounds like." The room went quiet. The girl took a deep breath. And then, she sang. It wasn't just a song. It was a prayer, a wound, a scream turned into melody. Her voice hit the chandelier glass and made it hum. The pianist froze mid-note. People who had laughed were now trembling, their phones forgotten in their hands. Every lyric felt like a story, of loss, rain, hunger, and hope stitched together with pain. When she finished, there was silence. Then, thunder. Applause erupted. People stood. Some cried. Some hid their tears. The host, now pale, muttered, "What's your name?" She looked down. "My mama called me Hope." Eleanor Reeves stood up. "Hope, come with me." The next scene was everywhere, trending overnight. Street girl stuns billionaires. But for Hope, it wasn't a fairy tale yet. Because while Eleanor offered her a place to stay, cameras followed everywhere. People wanted the story, not her soul. When Eleanor's assistant, Miles, took her to the mansion, he whispered, "Don't get too comfortable. You're just a headline." But Hope didn't care. For the first time, she had a bed, and food. At night, she looked out the window and whispered, "Mama, I sang for food today, but I think I sang for something bigger." Days passed. Eleanor arranged vocal training, interviews, contracts. But something was off. Hope was getting famous, but not free. Every step she took was scripted. Every word rehearsed. Every outfit approved. One night, Hope overheard Eleanor on the phone, "Yes, keep her under my label. No interviews without permission. Her story is worth millions." Hope froze. She wasn't a daughter to Eleanor. She was an investment. The next morning, she tried to sneak out to the park, the one she used to sleep in, but Miles stopped her. "Sorry, Hope. The public loves your mystery. You can't just walk around like before." "But I'm not your prisoner," she said. "No," he smirked, "you're a miracle." Cameras flashed as Hope was forced to smile in designer gowns that didn't fit her soul. She missed the freedom of singing for herself, not for applause. But then, one night, during a live charity concert Eleanor arranged, Hope did something no one expected. She changed the lyrics mid-performance. Instead of singing the polished pop anthem written for her, she sang the same street song she sang at the gala, but this time, with new verses about truth, hunger, and the price of fame. The crowd went silent again, but not for beauty this time. For bravery. Reporters started whispering. Eleanor's face darkened. "Turn her mic off," she hissed. But it was too late. The internet had already heard her. "They gave me food, but they took my freedom," Hope sang. "They gave me clothes, but they took my name." When the performance ended, Eleanor stormed backstage. "Do you know what you've done?" she screamed. Hope looked up calmly. "Yes. I finally sang for myself." The next morning, Hope's face was everywhere again, but not as Eleanor's prodigy. Headlines read, "Street Girl Exposes Billionaire's Exploitation." Eleanor's company faced backlash. Sponsors pulled out. But something new began for Hope. People reached out not for profit, but for her voice. A small music teacher from Harlem offered her a real home, not a mansion but a place with warmth. Hope accepted. Months later, she performed again, this time in a community concert, surrounded by kids who reminded her of who she once was. She sang the same song, now called The Plate, and halfway through, the crowd joined in. Her voice trembled, not from fear, but from gratitude. After the show, a little girl tugged her sleeve and asked, "Miss Hope, did you ever get your plate of food?" Hope smiled softly. "Yes, sweetheart. But I learned something bigger." "What?" the girl asked. Hope knelt and whispered, "If your song comes from the heart, the world will feed you more than food ever could."